there's always trade-offs, and being there isn't the same as being present. My youngest daughter, Layla, turned 10 this week, and there's always podcasts talking about trade-offs, the trade-offs of being a good parent, the trade-offs of being fit and healthy, the trade-offs of having a business. And one of the presents that I got her was a day with daddy voucher. And I was sort of joking with her, saying it's your best present, it's the one that you're going to be most excited about getting. And on there was like two like some gaps, some things for her to fill out. Activity 1, activity 2, what food does she want that day, what snacks, etc. And the reason I did that is I just wanted to create a moment for her. And she's 10, she's double figures, those years now in a single digits, I'm not going to get back. And I don't regret anything I've done in my life, don't get me wrong. What I went through with the split, I wouldn't have chosen the way that it happened, but I'm happier now than I was before. And so in a weird way, I wouldn't change that. The businesses that I've built, one in 13 years, one in still inside its first year, again, I wouldn't change that, but that, I guess that ambition does have a bit of a cost, and I do pride myself on being a really present dad and taking the girls. Even when I was married, I would usually be the one to do school drop-offs, and I would be the one to pick them up because I could sort of manage it within the business time. So I was able to manage that and still be there for them as much as I could be. Maybe the trade-off has been that presence at times where, anybody that runs a business will know just how hard it is to be fully present, to not check your emails, to not check a WhatsApp that comes through from an employee or something, where you're constantly sort of on. And so if I think of my sort of current life, it is a bit mad, it's a bit intense, where I live between two places. My girlfriend Becky lives in Bath, I live there half the week, and then when I've got my daughters, I'm back in Bridgewater for half the week. I run two businesses, I co-parent, I exercise 6 times a week, which is really important to me. So there's a lot of plates that are spinning, and don't get me wrong, there's no danger of me missing a birthday because I'm too on it, and I love being a dad far too much. But maybe the danger is, and certainly as Renew continues to grow, is as those businesses grow, I don't want that trade-off of not being there as a dad. But sometimes there is that bit of a trade-off, and I've got quite a good moral compass, I think, most of the time, where I know if I'm getting pulled too far towards the businesses and I'm a bit stressed, get a twitchy eye, that's always a bit of a tell for me. And this week, I definitely feel tired. We're getting towards the end of the academic year. I think just emotionally, mentally, a little bit drained. And the battle for me is just trying to be that present dad. And I definitely noticed it this week, and maybe Layla's birthday was quite timely in ensuring. So I missed and actually maybe this is a trade-off, or maybe this is one of the points. School communication's a fucking nightmare, right? There's so much emails, class dojo, it's relentless, and trying to stay on Facebook parent groups and whatever else, and random, they can wear PE kit today because it's warm. It just throws everything into a bit of a spin. And I actually was too late in getting tickets to Layla's choir performance. I missed that on Monday. It sold out, and that was a real pull on my heartstrings. Hated it because I think that's the first time I've missed anything, and ultimately it's my fault because I didn't get the tickets quick enough. On that day, I had a message from a parent saying, oh, there's a spare ticket, and I was already in Bath and I wasn't sure if I'd be able to get back on time. Turned out that ticket had actually gone to my ex, so it wasn't available anyway. But just an example maybe of a trade-off that I'd made by being in Bath, being busy with the businesses and life and the exercise that I mentioned, so I missed it. But drove back down on Tuesday, which wouldn't normally be my day, picked her up from school, took her out for dinner, and then dropped her to a dance class. So was able to spend that time with her. So I'm flexible enough to be able to do that within my world. So yeah, there are trade-offs. Maybe that perfect balance doesn't exist. But what's been nice this week is just spent some time with them. Put my phones and their phones in the bedroom, and just sat on the bed with them, and nothing in particular to chat about, just being in their company, having a laugh and a joke, and I feel in a really happy place, and I feel like I can be myself, and I think they enjoy seeing the wacky side of me. And maybe, you know, talking of trade-offs, that's another trade-off sometimes, where life stresses get in the way of being the best possible parent that you can be. And no matter how level you try and be, and we've had some bad news with Sports Premium recently on Inspired Schools, and it has impacted, I won't lie. So there are ups and downs and stress levels, and that's another trade-off, I guess, but perhaps a trade-off with any job. There's probably no job out there that's stress-free, and certainly no businesses. But I think on the whole, I can be pretty level, and it was just a lovely time with them on the bed, just chatting nonsense, being silly, and having a lovely birthday weekend ahead where we're going up to Bath for the weekend with the girls, and being present with them. And I think anybody that follows my stuff will know that I don't like phones. They don't have social media. Izzy's got a burner phone, which is here somewhere. If she tries to go on social media when she's with me, she loses her phone for a week and she gets the burner phone. Because I want them to be present with me when I've got them. Like, Layla's 10, Izzy's 12. I've not got them for that much longer in terms of like wanting to spend time with me, and even if it's forced at times, I want them to be present when they're with me. And if I think of a recent time where they have been fully present, it was when we were skiing. And I know I do Becky's head in because I want to go skiing all the time, but just being on the slopes where you can't be on your phone, you can't be messaging or scrolling Instagram whilst you're going down a mountain at whatever speed it is, because you have to concentrate. But that for me was one of the best, if not the best holiday I've had with the girls, because they had to be present. They didn't have their phones on them, and when we stopped for lunch, they didn't have their phones. So we were just chatting and being silly and just in each other's company, enjoying each other's presence. Fun, jokes, music on, singing, laughing. It was just the best. And I was having a conversation with a friend of mine at the weekend, and he perhaps has lost his purpose a little bit. Does well for himself, but he's like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing all this for. And I was like, well, try and find that thing that lights you up. I love being a dad. I love business. And I love getting away on holiday. And they all blend together perfectly, because I know that I can't have the holidays without the business. And I want to spend those incredible times with the girls. It doesn't matter where we are necessarily, but I selfishly want to be on the slopes. I want to be in a nice holiday resort. And so it all works together, and that is something that I hold dearly, and that fuels me to think, well, I know I need to keep making the business a success so I can go on those ski holidays, which aren't cheap, but I want to go on more of them and create more memories whilst I still can with the girls, and whilst my knees still allow me to do that. So I know I'm never going to be less ambitious, because that's just me, and I won't sacrifice my ambitious side and what I want to achieve in business, but equally I don't want to sacrifice all the incredible times of being a dad. I think where I can be better is switching off and just not having the phone with me, and having those intentional moments with the girls, watching a film and chatting to mum and dad and talking really fondly about my childhood, when even if we were watching like EastEnders, which wasn't my favourite thing, but we were together. And so we try and sort of sit down and watch a film with the girls and spend that time with them, even if they don't want to, just so that we're together. And yeah, those are times that I'm not going to get back. So even if I have to force them to do it, I will. And I guess I'll always continue to get that balance right. I don't think there's ever going to be a time when I think I've cracked it, because the levers of different things will always be pulled slightly more than the other. So it's a work in progress. But yeah, there are trade-offs for sure. I could probably go all in on the businesses to make them more of a success. But why? Because I might lose that beautiful relationship that I have with the girls. And what for? Yes, I might have more money, but I want to spend that money with them to create those moments. So